Mujer Maravilla es dirigida por la galardonada directora Patty Jenkins. La directora comenta cómo nació la idea de dirigir una película de superhéroes.
Yeah, you know, so when I was a little kid, right around the time that we were just talking about, elementary school, I saw Superman 1, and it affected me and changed my life in a way that I never forgot. It was so profound and felt like it was both adult and something I could see as a child. It felt like it was a very adult love story and adult themes of love and loss, and yet it was being acted out for a child, and it was such a serious experience for me, but yet it lived up to being a superhero film in every possible way. I never forgot it. When I decided to become a filmmaker and I was making filming myself with my friends in New York, short films and films, I remember thinking to myself, and people would say, oh great, you could be like Woody Allen or you could do these things, and I said, yes, I would love to, but also I wanna there's this film, this kind of film I want to make, and it was this film. It's like I always wanted to make something that affected people and touched people's lives the way that Superman touched me, which is I want to make a personal film that's something powerful, but I want to shine a ray of light into the world. What an incredible thing to be a part of. So all these years, Wonder Woman was my favorite superhero. The fact that nobody had made it, when I made Monster and people were asking me what I wanted to do, very shortly after I made Monster, I said to Warner Brothers, I can't believe no one's made Wonder Woman. I would like to do that. And so it was a long journey and many different chapters and many different meetings and many conversations, but I always wanted to make it, and it's almost, as true to my character and my ambition as anything. Even if I did a darker film first, this was always something I wanted to do. And so, to my shock, that all actually culminated in me getting to make something that I really believe in, which has been magical and wonderful.
La cineasta comenta algunos de los retos que tuvo que superar durante la filmación de esta producción.
There was both ends. So two of the most challenging scenes were the beach battle, where it was literally like a military operation with hundreds and hundreds of people and long meetings and boards and graphs and charts and okay, it has to go out our plan, intense organization and every day at 2:00 p.m. we have to do that shot and blah. Unbelievably complicated. And then I'm trying to direct drama as well in the middle of it, of Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor meeting for the first time and their whole thing. So there was that. There was No Man's Land, which is freezing cold, muddy, impossible to control the terrain, and I need to send Wonder Woman out into it in a Wonder Woman costume and boots, running through it. It was epically unbelievable, and nobody could believe we were doing it. Everybody was like, why? Just shoot it on the stage. I was like, no, it has to be in the real thing. It's going to change it, and it did. But then also, some of the complicated dramatic moments and romantic moments between Gal and Chris were also not a small deal to us. So they were just as difficult and just as intense and exhaustive because we really, really cared about them being great. And so it wasn't great, we got that in the can, that stuff's been said. We were saying, how do we make the greatest version of this scene in the world? So it was all day, multiple days sometimes, intensely trying to make that drama or comedy or romance hit just as we want. And so that's a whole other, I think probably some of the worst day on set was a scene like that, when you can't quite get it, and yet when you get it, so proud of those guys' performances. They're the best.
Mujer Maravilla ya está en los mejores cines, no te la pierdas. Recomendación de boletodecine.com, donde el cine está mejor que nunca.